Hi, my name is Coach B, the CEO, co-creator of Extraordinary Outcomes. I'm an ordinary person with extraordinary aspirations who believes in living life fully alive. Welcome to Monday Morning Magic. Good morning, CEOs, co-creators of Extraordinary Outcomes. Thank you for tuning in. We are live on Facebook, so if you want to join us, come on in. We're also on YouTube. If you want to come in on YouTube, feel free to do so. Today's topic is wealth dissonance. Why the disconnect? We're going to talk a little bit about that. First, I want to say, how's everybody doing? What a weekend. The Super Bowl. I can't say I know who won the Super Bowl, but I could tell you that I saw the halftime show. It was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. Some people was like, it could have been more, it could have been less, it could have been X, Y, and Z. I enjoyed the Super Bowl. I like simplicity. All right. I love simplicity and I love elegance. So if you have some elegance and some simplicity, you got my vote. How's everybody else doing? That's my take. But how's everybody else doing this Monday morning? I know Monday mornings get a bad rap. People's like, it's Monday. I got to go back to work. There's some dread, doom, and gloom in there somewhere. But I'm hoping that Monday Morning Magic inspires you, that we give you some information to transform the way you feel about Monday morning. Monday mornings is exciting. It's the start of a new week. It's the start of a way to be creative. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. So, in the description box, both in Facebook and YouTube, there is a link, a StreamYard link. So if you want to join on Facebook, you can hit the link, give them permission. That way, if you want to leave a comment, I can see the comment, then possibly respond depending on how fast it goes and how good I get with technology. I'll be able to respond back, or at least verbally respond back to what you're writing in either StreamYard or Facebook. The platforms are a little different, but what they do have in common is the likes and the shares, and you can leave a comment. So we would love to have your support. If this is moving you in any kind of way, share it out, put a thumbs up, and please subscribe. As you know, we're in a digital world. So this is like old school stuff, right? Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So that's the subscription, that's the like, that's the share. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. That way the algorithms will pick it up and it'll start moving the videos up a little bit more. Because if you're getting something out of it, I'm pretty sure you don't want to deny anybody else from getting something from it too. We're new to this digital space. I talked about that a little bit last week about my setback, not being open-minded enough to, get into this digital world. But this is the way of the world. I'm not trying to get left behind. And I have some things I want to offer, and I want to be of assistance and serve people to the fullest. So today's topic is wealth dissonance. What is wealth dissonance? Why is there a disconnect? What did we grow up believing? But I thought I would break the word down. I love the dictionary, so I thought I would break it down a little bit and go into what is wealth. So when you break it down, it's well thy, right? So wealth is that which is best for someone or something. It also means a sound, healthy, or prosperous state. Notice in the definition of wealth, there's no mention of money. No mention of money. No mention of money. Yet, many times we associate wealth with money. And So if you see me looking aside, looking up, or what have you, it's because I'm looking at different screens. I got my phone up, I got my laptop on, I got an extra monitor up, so that I can kind of manage what is happening before me. So what I was saying is that notice in the definitions there is no mention of money, but when we think about being prosperous, that means nothing missing. So if I'm thinking about this wealthy mindset, then I need to start thinking about, do I have a sound, healthy, or prosperous state of mind, state of being, a state of the way that I am interacting with the world. So I want to talk about a few things as it relates to this wealth, and then get into thy, right? So wealthy, wealth thy is you or yours, possession, yours. Are you wealthy? Are you practicing a wealth dissonant mindset? Meaning that you misunderstand wealth, you mismanage the wealth or the resources that you have, whether or not your beliefs, your values, and your behaviors are misaligned. This is really big. I can tell you that so many people say, I want to be a millionaire. I want my own business. I want some money. I want to travel the world. I want to travel the world. And yet, based on their state, whether or not it's a healthy, sound, prosperous state, they may not achieve their wealth goals. So when we are in misalignment, and I'll give you an example of, I believe that, rich people are thieves. But I value freedom. I want to have the freedom to come and travel and go where I need to go. I have the value that I want to leave a financial legacy behind with my children. I want to be in good health so that I can enjoy time with my grandchildren. I want to be in good health because I don't want to be miserable. I want to be able to think clearly and straight. So my mind, body, and spiritual connection, my mind, body, spiritual, and emotional connection is really important. I want to be prosperous in those areas. I don't want nothing missing. I don't want nothing broken. Because what I realized is that you can have money, lots of money, and be broke. Yeah, I'm going to say that again. You can have a lot of money, right? Monies. You can have a lot of money and be broke. You can have a lot of money and be spiritually, emotionally, and cognitively broke. And you might say, well, how can that happen? Didn't the person work really hard to get the money, this, that, and the other? But if you feel like you're an imposter and you feel like you don't deserve it, then yeah, you have it. You earned it. But mentally, your beliefs and your values, are they in alignment with what you have? Misunderstanding wealth. I want to go back up to that first point. Misunderstanding wealth. When I was growing up, I grew up in Harlem, also in Queens. And I remember when I moved out to Harlem from Queens, there was a particular cultural, right, community mindset of a certain group of people had it better off than another group of people. And I remember when I was younger going downtown. That's what we used to call it. We're going downtown, because Harlem, if you're not from New York City, is like 110th Street moving on up, right, to the higher numbers. But when you started going like 59th Street, Fifth Avenue, and down, that was considered going downtown. And Fifth Avenue had all of the luxury high-end stores. So in our community, in our neighborhood, it would be, don't go downtown messing around with those people. Or why do they clean up downtown? Why does downtown look so much better than Harlem? And now, mind you, things have gotten a lot better in Harlem, right? I'm talking about when I was a kid. I'm talking about wealth dissonance. So when I was a kid, we were taught that, wealth was for a certain group of people. And that if you were really wealthy, you probably did something criminal to obtain the wealth. And I have to tell you, I grew up around all kinds of people. I'm going to leave it that way, right? I grew up around all kinds of people doing all kinds of things. So for me, growing up in a community like that, the people that were committing crimes per se were the people that had the nice clothes, that had the fancy cars. They were coming and going and traveling. They was paying cash for everything. And yet in my household, my parents would go to work, but at the end of the week, they were struggling to pay the bills. And I can remember growing up and feeling like at a very young age, in my adolescence, feeling like I got to get a job. 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 I got to get a good job, a well-paying job, because I got to get my family out of this cycle of getting paid and just barely having enough money to pay the bills. Now, I don't want to get into the sociology of it, right? But they only had enough to pay the bill. And this cycle would go around and around and around every payday. And I can remember asking my mom for stuff, and she would say, "Girl, get out of here. Get out of here. Stop asking me for stuff. You want something? Go get a job." And I can remember getting my working papers at 14. Because I didn't want to be deprived of being able to have what it was that I thought I needed or wanted at the time. When you're a child, you don't really understand wealth. And when you're an adult, depending on how you were raised, you may not understand wealth neither. You might really think and believe that it's for a subset of people. Now, do some people have a jump start? Yes. But that doesn't mean that we too cannot have wealth. But what is wealth? And again, what is it? And I'm looking both ways because I'm looking at my camera, looking at my phone. So what is it? It's that sound state of mind, of health, and prosperity. Nothing missing, nothing broken. That's what wealth is. And an abundance of what? Resources. Now, here's the thing about resources. Resources could be my talents, my gifts. That's a resource. If my talents are a resource and I understand how to parlay that into something else, then I can have the monetary wealth that goes with it. But if I come from the school of thought of I'll never be wealthy, money doesn't mean anything, only, a few people are entitled to it, then guess what? I've already counted myself out from wealth as it relates to money. If I'm not going to the doctor and I have some health problems and I'm paying doctor, nurse at home, then I'm depriving myself of having a healthy state. If I have negative thoughts constantly, I can't, not now, this, that, and the third, right? Then guess what? I'm not in a wealthy mindset. There's a disconnect. So wealth is both internal and external. I need a good state of mind. I need a good state of spirit. I need a good state of emotionality. I need to be able to tune into, tap into what I have, my innate resources. Some people are good at math. They're math wizards. Some people are good with technology. Some people have great engagement skills. Whatever that resource is, tap into it. Because when we tap into our wealth, it multiplies. It multiplies. When I'm doing things that I enjoy, when I do things that I'm good at, when I do things that I want to learn, my wealth, my wealth state increases. It's nothing like waking up in the morning on a Monday morning, feeling ready for the world, feeling like you have something to offer your family, that you have something to offer your community, that you have something to offer your place of employment. And if you're self-employed, that you have something that you can offer. But if I'm depleted emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, life don't look good. And I told you just now, I expressed to you how I grew up. So in my mind back then, I was like, whoa, whoa. This is not going to be a good journey, because I was already depleted from the things that I was hearing, from the things that I was learning, because I didn't have anyone to tell me. So I'm taking the opportunity to tell you, because I don't know who's in your network, what people are telling you, what people are giving you, right? I'm here to tell you that, we can overcome this wealth dissonance, that it doesn't have to be a struggle, that we can actually be have a wealth mindset. And again, wealth is not only about money, but it is about the way that we look at ourselves, the way that we take care of ourselves, our state, our being, how we're operating. If I am deflated before I can even get started, oh, it's Monday, I don't want to go to work, I don't want to be bothered with these people, they're getting on my nerves. If I'm already starting out that way, then I'm not in a wealth mindset. I'm in wealth dissonance. I'm disconnected from what it is that I have. So I have a couple of coaching questions. What are your current beliefs regarding wealth? I told you what some of mine was when I was younger. Let me tell you what they are now. And I said it a little earlier. I believe in taking care of myself. I believe that, I can have nice things, do nice things, go nice places. And I don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm not doing a financial juggle. I live within my means. I do what I need to do. And I've created a lifestyle for myself that allows me to have more freedom. And how did I get the freedom? I got the freedom because I've learned to take care of myself a lot better than before. And what that means is I have less stress, I have more time, and I have more flexibility because I changed my mindset about what wealth really was. Let me say that again. I have more freedom and flexibility, time and money because I changed my mindset about what I thought wealth was. My state of being is really, really, really important to me. And guess what? If you can get it, I can get it. How I go about getting it is just as important as having it. I don't believe that I have to burn the candle at both ends to acquire anything. I don't think that I need to work 95,000 hours a week just to have something that I can't even enjoy because I'm working 95,000 hours a week. There's an expression, work smarter, not harder. So I'm letting go of my former belief systems of, girl, you better do that overtime if you want to make that money. So, and I'll give you an experience from that. I remember I used to be the overtime queen on my job. Anytime overtime came up, I was there, I was down, I was ready for it. Because I thought if I worked all of this overtime, I would get the money, and then when I get the money, I could do X, Y, and Z. True story. I was the overtime queen on the job. Guess what happened? I would put all these days and hours in. Notice what I'm saying. All these days and hours in, I would get the money from the overtime. Of course, the tax people came and got theirs because the more you make, the more they take. Right? So that would happen. But guess what else would happen? I would be so exhausted, physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally drained, that when I had a day off, I slept through the whole day. Didn't have enough energy to do anything that I really wanted to do, which was the goal from working the extra hours. So what happened? I burnt myself out repeatedly because I, kept in that pattern until I broke it. I kept in that pattern till I started realizing a couple of things. One, I'm burning the candle at both ends. I'm not really doing what I set out to do. And at the end, there wasn't no enjoyment. There wasn't no enjoyment. So I had to change that. I don't believe in that anymore. So do my beliefs and my values match my behavior? Of course they do. I want to do, my work well. I want to serve people to the highest, but I don't want to be burnt out at the end of it. That's not my values. Now, some people, they love it. They're high energy people and they're going to work, 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 work. And some people might say they're very conditioned for that. They've been doing that for a very long time. But if you're working at breakneck speed all day, every day, 24/7, when do you have time to enjoy all of that work? What are you doing it for? So, what are your current beliefs about wealth? The second question, what's missing? What is really missing? Now, some people work really hard and they want to amass a lot of things because there's a void on the inside. So they figure if they fix up the outside, that would take care of the inside. So what's missing? What's missing in your life as it pertains to wealth? Is it the external wealth or is it the internal wealth? For me, I want to have both. There's a yes and. Yes, I want to be healthy. And yes, I want to be healthy, wealthy and healthy, healthy and wealthy. There, for me, it's both. And no, I'm not talking about being greedy. What I'm talking about is this, that when my body, health, my mind, and my spirit and emotions are in alignment, I am healthy. Nothing missing there. Nothing at all is missing. Externally, it shows up in a different way. Like I said, I have flexibility, I have time, and I have freedom, and I have more capital. So in your life, what is missing? What's missing? And then lastly, what stands out? When you start to take an inventory and look at, and thank you for the viewer that's watching, and when you take a moment to do an inventory about your wealth mindset, can you see the wealth dissonance there? Can you see that your beliefs, your values, and your behaviors may be misaligned? Or do you have a misunderstanding about wealth that's creating this dissonance, this disconnect? I want to be rich. I want to travel. But the behaviors don't match. Not saving for the trip, not putting it on a plan. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. No, what stands out for you? What is it that you can actually change today? Who do you need to be today, right? To change that. My question to you is, how can I be of service? And if you would like a free coaching discovery call, the information is in the description. Again, today's topic, wealth dissonance. Wealth dissonance. There's a disconnect between wealth, your beliefs, your values, and your behaviors as it relates to wealth. If you want wealth, I'm here to tell you it's attainable. I'm also here to tell you that it's attainable, but something may need to give in order for you to have the wealth that you would like to have in your life. This has been your Monday Morning Magic. Again, feel free to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. I'll see you